Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I'm going to make two different thank you cards. Now I have some pre-batched items. I have a panel that I used some lunar paste from Simon Hurley on. This is through the Yuletide floral stencil from A Colorful Life Designs. I do have a coupon AmyFan10 if you want to shop for some stencils or bling, but I also laid down that lunar paste on some scrap paper, and I'm going to show you how I pull it all together. But I have this new to me thanks embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder from Altenew. Here's a photo of the finished cards. Now I will tell you up front, I'm going to leave everything in, but things did not go to plan. This thanks embossing folder, I decided to use it initially with this stenciled panel, thinking that it would kind of put just a cool design on this already made background. And you can see I did die cut that panel down with this stitched edge rectangle die that I showed you before. I will link all the products in the video description box below, but you can see, first of all, it shifted, it wasn't straight, and you can't really even see it on this busy background. So I decided to go a different route and grab a different 3D embossing folder. I think this was Wicker or something or another. Either way, I'll link it in the video description box below. But I'm just going to get rid of the thanks by 3D embossing right over it. So now you won't even see the thanks. It's just got this cool texture, and I'm going to turn it into something else. So set all that aside. I'm going to move on to the next card. I want to try this 3D embossing folder with a different sort of cardstock. So I'm going through my scrap folders. I have these kind of color coded, and I grab a piece of craft. And I decide to run that through the 3D embossing folder and see what happens here. So I did notice on this particular embossing folder, if you have an A2 size, so US A2 4¼ by 5½, kick that puppy all the way to the right side. So it won't have an even margin on the plastic, but you'll see if you kick it all the way over to the side on the right, it will have an even margin on both sides of the T and the H, if that makes sense. So again, if you're working with basically an A2 size, that's what I would do there, just to make sure that that's nice and even. Now, I do like how much it shows on the craft. I feel like the thanks is more than evident, but I do want to kick it up a notch. So I grab this metallic pigment ink, and I'm just brushing the whole pad right over the raised portion. Now, this isn't going to be super neat perfection. It's just going to kind of highlight the highest ridges on that raised portion from the embossing. So I'm just putting a little bit of this, I think this was the copper color from Delicata, and you can see it just kind of highlights just the most raised portion. I decided to then come in and also do it along the edges just to kind of tie it in and add a little bit more of that shimmer. Now again, this is a metallic pigment, so it will take a little bit to dry. So I'm probably actually smearing it all over the place, grabbing it like that, but thankfully it ended up okay. Now I do want to make this one a critter card, so I'm shopping in my critter book. These are baseball card pocket protector sheets, and I have a bunch of stamped and cut out or die cut out critters ready to go. And I do kind of flip through. I think initially I was thinking I wanted to go floral, but I don't have a lot of flower stamps kind of ready to go. So I did ultimately end up making it a critter card like you saw in the photo in the beginning. So I have this cute little critter. Trying to remember where that's from. I think that's actually a retired stamp set from the Rabbit Hole Designs, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this one was actually probably colored with colored pencil, which I don't do very often. But these are sentiment strips from Tailored Expressions. This one I used kind of some dies that I had in my stash, a shadow layer and the word layer. And I used that to die cut out from where I kind of smeared that lunar paste just so it matches perfectly. Here you can see I liquid glued my blingage down, but I didn't wait for it to dry and I just ripped it right off, and I was trying to show you the card, so that was a bit of a mess. But I did put some bling from Colorful Life Designs down on that, kind of an odd smattering. I'll show you the ones that I used here. I had satin matte gold on this first one because I felt like it matched really well with the gold lunar paste. And then on the next one, I'm not sure what I used. I'll show you here in a moment here. satin matte copper. So satin matte copper, satin matte gold. Again, I do have a coupon, AmyFan10. If you shop for anything at a Colorful Life Designs, be sure to use that code at checkout. And I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I will catch you next time. Bye.